Happy St. Patrick's Day! Why not? You know, why not? Another bald man, dude. I always end up bald. Oh my god, should I do cunt like Wazowski? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Too big? That's huge. What do you mean? What do you mean my face? What's wrong with it? I want to listen to scary Reddit stories. Scary Reddit stories, Minecraft parkour? Scary Appalachian Reddit stories.
I grew up in southern Appalachia. The hills and hollers of the Appalachian Mountains are some of the oldest mountains in the world. As with most things that have been on the earth for a long time, there were inexplicable anomalies, both benevolent and malevolent.
Right.
For example, the Brown Mountain Lights. Never in my life have I felt threatened or uneasy when witnessing them from Wise Man.
You're 10 minutes late for work, but you were 20.
Bitch, I thought that was part of the story.
About a decade ago, I was in night school up at AB Tech. Every night, I drove the same road. Some nights, it would get rather boring, and I would take a different route. Jump off the I-40 and drive the back roads. As I jumped off I-40 onto the exit where my parents lived, the night seemed to get darker and none of the animals that I could hear through my rolled down windows made any more noise. But I could not shake the feeling that something was definitely askew. For the split second that my gaze wandered, a very large, sickly looking dog ran out in front of my truck. Old Betsy was a good truck, but she didn't stop well.
Old Betsy.
My first thought was, oh god, now I have to go tell these neighbors that I ran over their dog. As I sat there breathing in the smell of burning rubber, something else found its way into my nose. The stench of rotting flesh. It's not a smell you ever forget once you smell it the first time. Let me go check and see who this dog belongs to. And as I looked in my rearview mirror, illuminated by the haunting glow of my reverse lamps, was the same dog. It had stood up like a man.
Nope.
A man well over 10 feet tall.
Nope.
I caught only a glimpse of this creature. It was not a dog. It was not a man. It was somewhere in between. There were no eyes, but only sockets. No hair, and the skin that was dripping off its face was cold. The nose was short and shoved into its face like a bulldog, but the teeth still haunt me. A light came on at a house next to the road, causing the creature to snap its gaze in that direction and tear off into the woods on its back two legs, like a man. When I got to the house, both of my parents were asleep. I went downstairs into my bedroom and loaded every firearm I possessed and locked all the doors. At around 3 a.m., I started to finally get drowsy, and as I went to lay my head down to get some sleep, I smelled the stench of death again.
You're just going crazy. None of that shit was real.
But as I dwelt on it, I became more and more noticeable until it filled the entire basement with two large glass doors that forest an impenetrable 500,000 acre. I finally worked up the courage to walk out of my bedroom and into the basement living room. At the edge of the woods, there stood the creature.
No.
It was motionless. It stared right into the light, unafraid. I swung the door open and fired every round I had in its direction. I must have scored a couple of hits because it screeched an unearthly scream as it took off into the woods. I didn't sleep that night.
That's green. They said, oh, she got a green thumb. Bitch, I do have a green thumb. Okay, this isn't making it lighter. It's gonna have to be dark green. What if we did a little bit of this? Okay, we don't have to sit here in silence. I swung the door open and fired every round I had in its direction. I must have had a couple hits because it screeched an unearthly scream. Okay, yeah, the dogs went crazy. Mom and dad woke me up asking what the heliante. I told them a bear had gotten in the trash. Okay, yeah, so he lied. They didn't believe me, but I knew they wouldn't believe the truth either. Everything seemed to return to normal and I didn't think about the creature again until I met my wife.
Her mother's house sits at the mouth of the holler. Up on the side of the holler, there are kennels for her brother's hunting dogs. Her Great Pyrenees had gotten into a tussle with a raccoon. His rabies vaccination had lapsed, so we had to keep him quarantined for all the time. This particular night was the last night of quarantine for him. We walked up the last trail using our phone flashlights, and there he sat, tail wagging, happy to see us.
Oh, I know where this is
We put
going.
him on a leash and started walking back to the house with him. I started to feel the same feeling I had felt that night. I hit the creature in my truck, and then the smell came wafting in the breeze. When we could see the lights of the house from the trail to the kennel, there came barking from the kennel that sounded just like the Great Pyrenees we had on a leash next to us.
I think I like this green better.
To make a long story short, my wife joined the military. She ended up getting stationed in Delaware. It didn't take us long to find a house in a sleepy little community. Having not thought about the creature in a long time, I resumed my staying outside after dark and playing with her dogs in a rather large yard. Last night, I went outside to play with the dogs. I built a decent-sized fire in my fire pit, and just as the fire was dying down, my American Bulldog tore off towards the woods. My immediate instinct was to chase him down in the yard and tackle him, and as I ran with him on my shoulders back to the house, I heard him begin to bark. Only the bark was not coming from him. The stench of death again began to fill the air. I didn't sleep a bit. I don't think I will for a while. I know for sure I won't be in the woods after dark ever again in my life. Not until this thing is gone.
Is that the end? Is that the end? That's the end. he's forever stalked by this thing. See, and this is what I would do. Leave the premises of the state. I am moving south. I'm moving away from mountains. I'm moving into the Great Plains. Although they're in the Great Plains too. Oh. There's someone I know. It's like a friend of a friend type situation. They are hiking Appalachian Mountains right now. Hey. Are you insane? Next story. My girlfriend and I were chased by a satanic
cult in the Appalachian Mountains of what this happened in the summer of 2017. My girlfriend and I are from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, and decided to take a road trip through the United States to celebrate our graduation. Our destination was Miami, Florida. We decided to drive instead of fly because we wanted to see a bit of the country on the way down and visit a few friends. The first part of the road trip was a wonderful experience. However, once we hit West Virginia, things changed. It was nothing but endless wilderness and a few small towns sprinkled in between. We ended up stopping for gas at a pretty remote spot. I started pumping gas and she went inside to use the washroom and pick up some snacks. My tank was about half full when I heard a voice behind me.
Y'all lost.
I looked behind me and I saw a middle-aged white man with long, messy brown hair and an unkempt beard with dashes of grays and what looked like to be dried up mucus. His clothes were torn and up and dirty, and he smelled like a mixture of beer, sweat, pee, and feces.
Ew.
He was a little overweight but pretty tall. No sir, just passing through, I said nervously.
Not too often we see terrorists passing through these parts.
Where are you headed? As he said this, he moved even closer than he was before.
Why do you need to
I
know?
had my back up against my car and I couldn't move back any further. I told him I was visiting family in Kentucky and they were expecting us. After I said this, he cracked a weird half smile. He let out a weird and sinister laugh. How lovely, he said.
I'll see you kids around.
Ew!
Then he walked away. The car was finally filled up and I saw my girlfriend walking towards the car with bags full of snacks for the road. The weird guy was still at the gas station. He was a few pumps away from us, leaning up against an old red pickup truck, but to my utter discomfort, he wasn't alone. There were two other men and one woman with him. They were staring and pointing at us. As soon as my girlfriend got to the car, I urgently told her to get in. We quickly entered the car, locked the doors, and I began hauling ass out of the gas station. As we pulled around their red truck to the exit, the four people began getting into their truck as they saw us leaving. We were zooming down the road and I looked in my rear view mirror. As I expected, the red truck was right behind us. I sped up even more, and they did too. I made a left, they did too. I made a full U-turn, and they did as well. My girlfriend managed to get reception and dialed 911. We gave the operator our location and they gave us directions to the nearest police station. Once we were off the phone with them, my girlfriend stuck her cell phone outside of the window and started pointing to it. Police.
Oh.
They finally got
See,
the message. and
I
stopped.
wouldn't have even done that. I would be so scared. People are crazy. I would be too scared to even like let them know because say it's like you and them alone on a country road and you tell them, hey, yeah, we called the police. Like, yes, it's still good, but like that doesn't stop them from ramming into your car. What if they're gonna hurt you? And they're like, oh, well, you can't get to the police if we kill you.
We arrived at the police station, filed a report. All we wanted to do at that point was get the hell out of West Virginia. We decided to drive through the night to cover as much ground as possible. Everything was fine until I noticed two headlights in my rearview mirror. The headlights got closer and closer. To my complete shock and horror, it was the same red truck from the gas station. These people had somehow found us again. My girlfriend began to freak out and dialed 911. I floored the gas pedal, not even knowing what was 10 meters in front of me. We got a mile up the road until my girlfriend yelled, "Watch out." There were 3 dead cows blocking the narrow road. I slammed on the brakes. The red truck was right behind us. We knew we fell into a trap. A naked man wearing a goat mask darted from out the woods and began hitting our car with what looked like a large axe. The naked man got on the hood of our car and started making cheap noises. The people behind us got out of the red truck and began walking toward our car. I put the car into reverse and floored it. The naked man fell off our car, smashed into the truck, and I managed to knock it into a ditch.
Thank you for using your brain at least, because so many people are like,
Oh, I was in the car and they were outside the car.
go full speed in the car. You have the car. Just slam your freaking pedals.
I pulled the fastest U-turn of my life and we got out of there. I drove as fast as I could away from these people until we finally arrived in a town. The car was still drivable after that, so we were able to get the fuck out of West Virginia the next morning. Who knows what kind of sick and twisted things this cult had planned if they managed to catch us. Stay safe out there, everyone.
All right, real quick. I have this so far. We need a darker green.
My girlfriend and I decided we wanted to give the southern portion of Virginia's trail a shot. This is definitely one of the more remote and less traveled parts of the trail. We gathered our gear and made our way to the start of the Virginia Creeper Trail to begin our journey. The majority of the trip was pretty uneventful. Our last couple of nights is where things got weird. We set up camp, cooked some food, talked for a while, then snuggled up and went to sleep for the night.
Cute.
Somewhere around 2 a.m. I was awoken by my girlfriend shaking me awake, telling me someone is outside walking around her tent. I got the judge out of my pack, and then we sat silently listening for any sounds. And then I heard it. Someone or something walking in the woods behind our tent. I got the flashlight and silently made my way out of the tent. I told my girlfriend to stay put while I checked it out. Instead, I waited to hear some more noises.
Are you streaming?
Yes, I am. So, like, what do you think?
So you're green. Are you Mike Wazowski?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, your face looks like a bullseye. I just want like...
You want to hit a dart in between my eyes?
No, just my fist.
Oh, okay. Okay. Scary man walking around the tent. Okay.
I turned on the flashlight and flooded the area with light. I thought I saw someone move behind a tree. I yelled out and told them to go away and that I was armed.
With the stuff
This
that
is what I'm doing. I'm so serious and I'm gonna be so vulnerable right now. I would be like full hair in front of my face like Samara, coming out, doing a lot of body horror and going like, and then running at him. I say this now and I'm not in a tent in a forest with a man walking around my tent, but like that's what I would do personally.
The area with my gun drawn and slowly approached towards the area where I thought I saw the figure. Then from my right, I hear what sounded like someone running away through the woods. I told my girlfriend about what happened and I end up sitting guard outside the tent. In the morning, I looked around a bit for signs of who or whatever it was. I discovered a boot print in some soft, moist dirt. It wasn't mine and it wasn't my girl's. This freaked me out as it confirmed that someone was skulking around our tent in the dark. At this point, we were pretty deep in and still had 2 days left. That day, we walked a little faster than normal. When it came time to set up camp, I found a spot near a cliff where we could place the tent in a small overhang and prevent anyone from coming up behind us. The whole day up to this point, I had a feeling we were being followed. I gave my girl the 1911 and I kept the judge right next to me and I assured her that if I slept at all, it should be with one eye open. And I stayed
One eye open when I'm sleeping.
I was awake for a few hours, just waiting to see if anything was going to happen. At some point, I guess my exhaustion caught up with me, and I drifted off. I woke sometime later to what sounded like someone going through our stuff outside the tent. I grabbed my gun and woke my girlfriend, shushing her to be quiet. I could see someone's silhouette against the tent. I yelled out to them something along the lines of, "Get the fuck out of here." They dropped what they were doing and bolted. I walked to the edge of the woods in the direction whoever was out there had fled. There was a creek nearby, and I walked to the edge. Down the creek, I could see a light. Then I saw 3 more emerge from the other side of the woods. I told my girlfriend to start packing up whatever she could and that we were leaving now. We eventually reached the end of the trail and got to where we had parked my girlfriend's car. We made it out of the Virginia woods without becoming a meal for a clan of cannibalistic inbred hillbillies.
What the fuck did he just say?
For a clan of cannibalistic inbred hillbillies.
A clan of cannibalistic inbred hillbillies. Try saying that 5 times fast. Clan of cannibalistic inbred hillbillies. Clan of... I can't do it.
And all right, before we get into this next one, this is a post and a lot of different people reply to this specific post. The post reads, "What is the scariest, most uncanny experience you have had in the Appalachian Mountains?"
Ooh.
And one day I was driving down a gravelback road, just riding around when I came up on a group of 10 plus people in white robes. They're walking down the road towards the creek. I put it in reverse and got out of there pretty quickly. In hindsight, pretty sure it was just people performing a baptism down by the creek.
A baptism, bitch! Are you please be serious? A baptism, bitch? That was literally the... I'm getting a little tired of these. Oh yeah, this is what we needed. Oh! Hi, Resident Evil. Hi, Leon. Hi, Leon. Unfortunately, okay. Oh, I told YouTube this. In the past 18 hours, read the entire, like, from where the anime ended of Gachokuda all the way to the most recent chapter of the manga. I love Tamsi.
This is your man.
Yes,
Look at the screen.
that's mine. And,
And,
I'm gonna stick beside him.
that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
I love him. I love him and I'm obsessed with him. He is all I can think about. Like, yes, I'm here, but a part of my brain is with Tamsi right now. And I already did make a playlist for it. That's when you know it's bad. Since I'm doing, like, baddie Mike Wazowski, she should have, like, glitter. This happened last time! God, okay. You even see that? And then I'll do some like here. Okay, I mean, it's not perfect, but listen, look at what I'm dealing with here. I think that's honestly all I'm gonna do. That's all I have enough in me for. Should we do red lips? I think we should do red lips. Last but not least, I need some blurish. How does one do blurish on green skin, you might ask? Well, right, so the makeup is done. Last but not least, you notice that he has some little horns on his head. Well, right. So, Mike Wazowski, we are done. Definitely made the eye a little too big, a little too big. The white is a little too big, but hey, just blur your eyes and it kind of... All right, well, we are done. I think I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys for joining. I will post a video about this sometime